we're back in the room once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the Caiman Show. I have a treat for all of you today. I have a guitaring legend in our midst. He is a guitarist. He is a vocalist. He's played in bands Easy Action. He has played in Europe. Recently launched a new album with his new band, which we're going to talk about momentarily. He is the king of melody. Give it up for the one. Give it up for the only, Kee Marcello. Welcome to the show, sir. It is a pleasure.
Thank you, Caiman. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's an absolute pleasure. As I said, sir, you're most welcome. How are things over there? You doing okay?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, the weather it's been the longest and most horrible winter and spring. The spring was like another winter on top of the other winter. But now everything comes at the same time, and it's like 22 degrees right now. This morning I was jogging in the marina down here by the sea, and it's just amazing, you know. I almost don't want to work at all. Just want to be
Awesome. Where exactly are you at the moment for people watching and listening?
I'm in Västra Frölunda, which is right outside Gothenburg on the west coast of Sweden. So it's about, if you know where Stockholm is, it's about 500 kilometers from Stockholm. It's the second biggest city.
Yeah, and you were saying earlier on before we come on, you've got the weather there today as well, yeah?
Yeah, amazing weather.
Fantastic. Well, you enjoy it, my friend. You enjoy it. Obviously, I've asked you on. I'd like to talk a little bit about the past, as one would, and obviously you've got other projects on at the moment, which I'd like to touch on, if that's okay as well. First of all, a question that I'd like to ask you that has been exercised in my mind. The name, Kee Marcello, doesn't sound Swedish to me. Is that not the name you were born with?
No, not at all. The thing is, somebody approached me once, an American said, Kee Marcello, a Chinese first name and an Italian last name. Was there a lot of good pot in Sweden in the 70s?
And was there?
It actually was, but it has nothing to do with that. I'm born Kjell Hilding Löfbom, and in the early 80s, I don't know if you recall this, it's probably before your time, but when the Swedish metal scene grew in the late 70s and early 80s, we discovered that nobody took us seriously. As a matter of fact, nobody took heavy metal bands from mainland Europe seriously. They had to be from England. The only exception being the Scorpions.
Oh yeah, of course.
Otherwise, it was merely British bands, and nobody really took the others, the Dutch, the French, the Scandinavian scene seriously at all, you know. And so what we tried to do was to seem a bit more American or English. So that's why everybody has stage names, you know, which can look silly today. You know, you see a guy working in the harbor. Oh, hi, I'm Tony Black. So, and the stage names always stuck, you know. So if you were named the stage name by the early 80s, you still have it. What happened to me was I became the stage name. So I eventually changed to it. So my real name is now, what you see in the passport is Kee Marcello Löfbom. I kept my last name. So
okay, yeah.
It happened a thing, actually. I was in Taiwan, I was on tour, and the promoter gave me an airplane ticket back home to Sweden, which said Kee Marcello. And my name then was Kjell Hilding Löfbom, and they were going like, what?
Yeah, did that not get a little tricky?
That's not even close, you know. I got it here. So that's why I decided to put Kee Marcello in there. I tried for years to do what Alice Cooper does. His name is Vincent Fernier. I spoke to him about this. And he has what you can do if you're an American citizen. You can put in Vincent Fernier, AKA, also known as Alice Cooper. So there's
you can actually do that, can you? Yeah.
Yeah, in America, but not in Sweden.
Yeah.
In Sweden, it's impossible. I tried many times, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. There's a story. No, I just wondered. It was exercising my mind. I was like, that doesn't sound Swedish, but now we've got to the bottom of that. That's great. You know. So obviously, my first introduction, being born in 78. To yourself was with the band Europe. Okay, so the mainstream hit, the Final Countdown, yeah, which was great, was a great hit, is a great hit. It's still on the circuit now. You still hear it popping up left, right, and center. How did you come to join Europe? First of all, what was were you first of all you were in Easy Action? Was that your first big gig?
Yeah, I was in Easy Action. We were doing really well in the early 80s. Actually, first I was in a band called Noise. It's a Swedish pop punk glam band.
Yeah.
Singing in Swedish. And that's where I made my break. They already had a really successful run with 2 albums that sold platinum. I joined the band and produced the last one. So that tells you something about my my coming to the band. I made the band quit. No, what happened was that me and the bass player P.O. Tenian, we found each other, so to speak, and we realized that we want to do something else. So while on tour with the band Noise in the tour bus, we were sitting in the back writing songs for first Easy Action album. And in between tours, we were trying to get a label deal, which we did. And we were actually the first band that got signed. We eventually got a manager, and we the first Scandinavian band, rock band ever to get a major label deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, before with Seymour Stein signed us. Seymour Stein is Mr. Sire. He started the label Sire on Warner Brothers in America, and he's a legend in the business. He's like 2,000 years old, but he's still on the board, on the Warner board. I see him every year at the Midem Festival, the Midem in Cannes, where they have the music business festival. And he broke, the Ramones and Madonna, and he's like superstar in the A&R division. And so that was a big break. And they're back to the stage names. Our manager is half American, Indian American, actually, Sandetana, the one who used to be Easy Action's manager. And he went to Midem, which is very international, and presented this band Easy Action. And everybody had stage names. So I'm not even sure that Seymour Stein knew that we were Swedish. Wasn't really that interesting. It's as long as you can, sell a good product. We did 2 albums. After the second album, or actually right before releasing it, I get a phone call, and the manager of Europe asked me to join the band. At first, I turned it down, because we had a lot of interest on the second album.
You had a lot going on yourselves anyway, yeah. Yeah,
with Geffen, I got a phone call from David Geffen. I love your album, man, which is the second Easy Action album. So I thought, man, this is going to happen. It's going to be, woo! But after thinking about it over the weekend, I realized, man, this is a chance I cannot miss. So I called back and joined the band in October 1986. And during that time, the album was out, the Final Countdown album, but it hadn't really... It hadn't become this amazing hit yet. It was on its way. It started to happen finally in Holland back in the days. The Europe charts. We don't have them anymore. Europe charts. A lot of band broke in Holland, and then it spread like wildfire all over the continent. But that's what happened, And while we were rehearsing for the coming Final Countdown World Tour, we got reports, okay, you're gonna play this rock club in Munich, and it's like the venues got bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
For tickets, And before we knew it, it was like a number one hit single in 26 countries. Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. So obviously, an absolute quality experience for yourself. Yeah,
it was amazing.
Your journey through Europe. Yeah,
it was. Completely crazy. I don't think anybody in the band was prepared for what was going to happen when you get this amazing recognition worldwide. There was a time where we couldn't walk the streets without bodyguards. Recognized everywhere we went. It's sort of almost claustrophobic.
Yeah. No time to yourself. It's no you time. It says you belong to the people.
You can't go outside the restaurant and burp. No, somewhere with will be there, so you can't be human almost.
Oh man.
And then I recorded 2 albums with Europe before grunge came, actually, and sort of turned the music business upside down. And we decided to go on hiatus at that point.
Okay. I was going to ask as well, if you don't mind, I was going to mention Poison, as I was a fan of Poison as well back in the day.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell the story or not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what I take from it was so they've stolen a melody basically from yourself. Yeah. So for a song you wrote with Easy Action before your time in Europe, Poison put it on the I Want Action song. Yeah, that melody. Yeah, and I have listened to both. And you can clearly pick it out. Yeah, in my opinion, you know.
Let us start from the beginning. What happened?
Okay, that's as good a place as any.
Yeah, I was thinking about the end, but that wouldn't make any sense. But what happened was that song was recorded, and the thing with Easy Action, the first album, we were a little bit ahead of our time. Actually, we were a couple of years before the American glam wave hit the recording market. But what happened was Rick Browdy, who was the producer of that album, Look What the Cat Dragged Me, the Poison's album, he was a big fan of Scandinavian glam rock. And so he brought our album and Hanoi Rocks album to the studio, and they listened to it all. And he said, I suggest you guys make a cover of We Go Rocking, my song, the Easy Action song. And they were like, nah, some Scandinavian fucking glam act, who's gonna know, let's rip it off. And that's what they did, you know? And these are Rick Browdy's own words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, it's not like there's a big mystery here. Everybody know exactly what happened. And the thing is, when this happened, and I heard about it, the first time I heard about it, I was in San Francisco rehearsing for the first American tour.
I was going to ask where, when did the news hit you? Like, you know, and obviously a bit of a shock.
Yeah, and I had some sort of Steve McQueen dream that I wanted to fulfill. So I rented a convertible, a cool car, you know.
As you do.
Yes, you do. When you get the cash and you have the opportunity. We had a day off. They were adjusting lights and doing different technical stuff in the venue, in the Warfield Theater. So I brought my bodyguard, really, and we took this car, driving up and down the Golden Gate Bridge. Obviously, you gotta do it like in the film.
It's got to be done, man. It's got to be done.
Yeah. So,
when in Rome and all that.
You gotta take the box, and I turn on the radio, and there I hear my chorus with a different lyric, and I almost drew off the bridge.
I dare say. I bet you went white.
And in the background, you can almost hear like Twilight Zone. It was really an out-of-body experience.
Shit. So where did you go from there with it then?
I went back to the venue and asked everybody, "Have you heard the song?" And they say, "Yeah, it's a band called Poison, their new single." And I said, "Fuck me if it is. This is my song. It's not Poison's song." And I called Europe's manager and told him about it, and he wasn't interested. That wasn't his problem. First of all, he realized he wouldn't have any money for it because it wasn't the publishing company he was working with. It was way before his time.
All right, so none of his concern then.
So he was like, "Yeah, what the fuck?" There was no cash for him in it. So what happened was I let it slide. We were so busy.
Yeah,
that was this. I would think it was a day before we had the premiere in America, and it was crazy. I had literally another second to spend on this. But what happened was my publishing company, Warner Chappell Music, sued Poison's publishing company, and they offered to do a settlement out of court.
Okay, yeah.
Which I thought was a terrible idea, because then they don't really have to admit to being criminals.
Yeah, that's it. And they keep the song and so on, you know?
Yeah. It would have been much better to take it to court, which would have been a done deal. They even had a person looking at the two songs and coming to the conclusion it's the same song. You know, an expert. It was actually a conductor, a classical musician, that said not only is it the same chorus, they accidentally stole a part of the band name, which I thought was kind of interesting. Apparently it's really common, you know. So I want action, easy action.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, I thought that when I was, when I was putting a few pieces together early on, I was like, hang on, yeah, it's all there, you know, it's all there in the evidence.
It's all there. It's actually reminds me of another song, another lawsuit. The Swedish band Roxette. They had a song called "Listen to Your Heart."
Yeah, I know it.
And it's like two heart songs put together in a different.
Really? Is it? All right.
In Sweden, people will call it a song "Been Listening to Heart."
Yeah.
So it's apparently a common thing that you.
It sounds that way, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, so whose decision was it then to settle out the court? Did you have any say in that yourself, or was it strictly in the hands of the publishers?
I wrote the music and a third of the lyrics, but the vocalist Cindy San and the bass player P.O.3, and they wanted some cash fast, so I let them handle it, you know.
Yeah.
Which is bad. If we would have taken it to court, we would have been co-writers, and every time they make a best of Poison, we would have been getting some money. So it was very short-sighted.
So any regrets there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about the money, but
it's the principle.
It's a principle thing.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, everybody steals something when they write music. You get inspired by it and all that. But just, you know, fucking sample an entire part of the song, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's that's just a bit cheeky, that, isn't it? You know, it's just rude.
Yeah, it's like, look, I took
it is, yeah. Exactly. I know it's yours, but brilliant. Well, you know, that's just one chapter. Again, there's bigger and better things going on at the moment as well. There's great stuff going on at the moment. I see so there's a new album. When was this launched? First of all, Out of This World.
Out of This World, yeah. The Out of This World project is going really well right now. What happened was, it's since the music business is really different now, and we're, you know, starting a new band is kind of difficult. And it's myself and Tommy Hart, the vocalist from Fair Warning. Yeah. And the rhythm section from my solo band. I did the 5 solo albums, and Darby Todd, a British guy. Yeah. From London, who played with the Darkness and Hot Leg.
Okay, yeah.
And Gary Moore and a lot of people. He's a great drummer. And the guy from Gothenburg here, Ken Sandin, who I've been playing with since 2004. And first of all, we met this manager guy, Nick Krofta, who recommended we did a crowdfunding campaign, which is really popular now. But while we were doing this, some you know, the word got out, and a Japanese record company contacted him and wanted to make us an offer for Japan exclusively. And when that happened, he checked with another Japanese company, and all of a sudden we had 5 different labels in Japan wanting to sign it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I've seen this
the biggest one.
#1 in the Japanese sales chart.
Yeah.
What an awesome accomplishment. How'd you crack Japan, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
That's incredible, man.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we got with the biggest company. I think it was a smart move to do that. JVC Victor. Also, JVC Victor, I have a history with them. I produced a couple of projects with them. I did a duet with a Japanese band called Live Moon some years ago.
Okay, yeah.
I produced an album called Super Groupies, a Gothenburg band, really cool glam band. And and first and foremost, Europe was on JVC Victor back in the days. We were signed to Sony worldwide, but exclusively for Japan, they were signed to JVC, which was something that happened before I joined the band.
Yeah.
So we go way back, so to speak. And Japanese people, it's pretty much the same people on the label. They work till they die.
That's it. Yeah. No days off.
No days off. They just work. So it's a lot of people I recognize from that era, and so it felt like coming home in a way. And
Brilliant. Yeah,
brilliant. Number one.
So number one, that's an amazing accomplishment. So congratulations on that, first of all. It's not just number one, it's number one in Japan. That's just got a ring to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
it just sounds meant to be, fantastic. Yeah. So you're well known, not just in Japan, obviously you're well known all over the world. I'm from South Wales myself, and I was talking to a friend of mine. His name is Spam. He's a friend of yours, Harriet Elliott. Yeah, are you familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Harriet Elliott played with you a few times. He said, "Oh yeah, he's from Risco, where I live, and all that." So I just thought I'd drop that in there. My friend Spam was like, "Ask him about Harry." So what's your connection with Harry? You've done a few tours.
Hi to Harry. He was he played the guitar on a solo tour I did of the UK. It's not long ago. Well, years pass fast, but it's
like 2016. I want to say. Maybe
2016. That's right. 5 years ago. That was great fun. Great guy.
Good stuff. Yeah, man. It's a small world getting smaller, isn't it? By the second.
I have some Welsh friends. Yeah. Kind of like it over there. To be quite frank, the weather in Wales and in Gothenburg is not far away from each other.
Ah, there we are. Hit and miss, I think we call it.
Yeah.
Luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw. Exactly.
Yeah. We had a heat wave yesterday. It's overcast today. It'll be fucking snowing tomorrow. Now you watch. Brilliant stuff. So what's next for the new band then? So what are your plans now? Have you got any tours planned at all? So are you recording any new stuff?
Right now things are slowly opening up, and our manager slash agent is talking to festivals for next summer, obviously, but I don't know about Japan. They've been talking about January, February for Japan, but who knows now when things are opening up. And I mean, come on, the Olympic Games in Japan opens in like 3 weeks or something like that. It's going to be.
Wouldn't it be great to open the Olympic Games though?
That would be awesome. I think we're a tad late.
Never say never,
Never say never. That would have been awesome. But also, it's sort of for the Japanese people, I guess it's a baptism by fire. Either they have like the pandemic back, or everything worked great. It's going to be a lot of people, and traveling around in Japan during the Olympic Games. Well, let's see what happens. But we're definitely going to Japan on tour. It's a no-brainer with the number one record. And so if it happens right before Christmas or after New Year's, we'll see. So we're working on that. And the thing is, our manager is working on a deal for the rest of the world.
Okay.
The crowdfunding campaign is over. And it looks like right now the album is not going to be released until in January. So we're going to release 2 singles, 2 videos, late summer and fall, and then the album comes in January.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Can we expect to see you in the UK at all?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Excellent. Right answer. Right answer.
Yeah. UK is the home of rock and roll, the home of hard rock, man.
Brilliant, man. Yeah, we love it. We can't get enough of it all the way, every day. Great stuff. So things are going from strength to strength with a new band. Tours are in place, or you're hoping to get some bits in place. So you're continuing to record. Brilliant stuff. Lockdown. What was your experience in lockdown? Did you use it to your advantage, or was it just a case of like it was for myself?
Yeah, actually, I used it to my advantage. I mean, I got a small home studio that I, got prepared for this. I have a big studio where I can record drums and the whole 9 yards. But I mean, if you're gonna run a big studio, it takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
you know, changing of heads and drums and stuff like that, which I'm not really comfortable with. So I sold the studio, and instead now when I record albums, like I take my car into the center of the city to Top Floor Studios. Jake Herman, who is an utter genius with drums, you know. So I always record it, and it's worth every cent to record at his place. He's got the best drum room and the best drums, and he has like a full wall of snares.
Amazing.
Choose that. You can choose
snares
for 2
drum porn.
Exactly, snare porn. But so I do that. But I have a setup right here which you can't see with my amps and keyboards and vocals. So I do everything like that at home. I did it for the last 2 solo albums, and the same thing for Out of This World. So I got really creative when the pandemic struck Sweden, you know. So man, I wrote a lot of songs. I mean, most of the songs for the Out of This World album, when I have 2 or 3 songs for a second Out of This World album, I have at least maybe 70-80% of a new solo album.
Oh wow!
Etc. So it's a lot of stuff in the can, which is thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah, see, there is some good that's come out of this shitstorm then, you know, in the end.
It is. It's absolute shitstorm. But also, another thing is funny that happened. I mean, I have hundreds of travel days a year. And now when I had to stay at home, I'm realizing how much I like it. So in the future, I'm going to be more selective. You know, I've done, you know, the club and theater tours over Europe. I've done them so many times I can't count even. So there's not really anything new with that.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
It's gonna be Tokyo Dome and Wacken and stuff like that, you know.
That's it. Bucket list gigs.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, why not? You're in a position where you can, you know, choose where to play, you know, effectively. Yeah. So why not play the ones that mean the most to you, that hit the year, that you get the most out of, you know? So it makes sense. But yeah, it's great. You used it to your advantage, and that's fantastic.
I told my agent that we're gonna play Wacken with Out of This World next summer. I already did Tokyo Dome. We did it with Europe. It was a.
Oh, you did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that for you?
Unbelievable.
Mind blowing.
Completely. It was Europe, Metallica, Tesla, and Thunder, the British band Thunder.
Yeah, I know.
Band. Yeah, great. Yeah. And it was a New Year's Eve, and the whole thing was called The Final Countdown. And back then, you know, Europe and Metallica were like pretty much as big, at least in Japan. But it was awesome. It was really relaxed. Everybody were happy. And after the show, all the guys in the band went outdoors on the streets of Tokyo and had sake and hung out. And nobody bothered us at all. It was great.
Oh, amazing. What an experience, man. What a great experience. But no doubt after the lockdown, then you're charged up and you're ready to go. I bet you can't wait to get back out there. Have you managed to do any gigging at all yet? I don't know, what's the lockdown situation over there at the moment, Kee?
Oh, it's horrible. I mean, I think you can play in front of 8 people or something.
Oh, really? Yeah. that sounds like one of my old band's gigs.
Yeah.
Where Bob, Fred, and Bill were all in attendance, yet nobody else.
Yeah, with 8 people in the crowd, the mosh pit is just ridiculous.
Yeah, mosh pit of 1.
Yeah, so now they're changing it. I think it's 50 as we speak, or becoming 50 next week or something like that. And it's going to gradually increase. In September, there's rumors about everything going back to normal, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is these days. We don't know, do we?
No, we don't know. But let's hope for that. Let's hope for the best. And I think it's gradually opening up everywhere. So, I mean, we just want to go on tour with this splendid record we just recorded and released.
Fantastic. So, yeah, well, I wish you every success with it. Again, thank you for coming on having a chat with me. Before we do wrap up, are there any plugs shout outs, acknowledgements, which you'd like to throw out there?
Not right now. Right now, it's just studio work, you know.
Yeah.
But, well, go into check out the Out of This World Facebook page.
Okay.
Get all the new info there, and I mean, pretty soon we're gonna have a premiere gig. I don't know where in the world or when, but it will be announced there and on my page, of course, as well.
Excellent stuff. We'll put all the links in the description here as well. All right. So we go out on YouTube, we go out on Spotify, Deezer, it's wherever. All other platforms are available. We go out on them all. So we'll put the description in there for you. We'll plug the shite out of that shizzle for you, Kee.
That's the spirit.
Brilliant, my man. What are you up to for the rest of the day? Anything exciting going on, or is it just music?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a song. Actually, I got a new song. Yeah, it's meant for Out of This World. It's about the environment, you know. Actually, it's about the deniers, you know. And it's called Shit Creek. Actually, we're all up Shit Creek together.
You said it, man. You said it. Yeah, I wrote one kind of a similar feel called Panic Buyers myself, about everyone raiding the supermarkets. It's basically just a list going through all the shit that people are buying, and then it's just telling them to stay in and watch the TV. The longer they don't, we're not free. You know, so. It's
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, man, it's a good concept, but yeah, my guitar playing is not a patch on yours, shall we say, to say the very least. But I have a go.
All right.
Brilliant, Kee. It's been an absolute pleasure, my man. I wish you every success in the world with the new projects, with the new band. Good luck with everything. Thanks for coming on. And when you're in the UK, hopefully we'll be able to hook up, swig a beer, and that'll be all kinds of awesome.
Definitely. When I come to Wales, we're gonna hook up.
Top man, you know it makes sense. You know it makes sense.
Okay,
Kee Marcello, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thank you very much, my good man. Goodbye. God bless.
God bless.
Marcello on the Caiman Show. Woohoo!
Woo!